Good morning. Today is Thursday, November 20th. It is my middle daughter's birthday today. She probably will not look at this, but happy birthday. I love you. You are beautiful. You are blessed. And the Lord, Yahua, is going to take you places that you never thought that you would go on your own. So this particular scripture has been sitting on my heart for maybe 2 days. And I don't know if you've ever heard the term fire within my bones. You got to get it out. I have to get this word out. So this is what I've learned in the past 2 days. Just in the past 2 days. I've kind of known this already, but just in these past 2 days, make it relevant to right now, that I'm not the only one going through a fiery season, fiery times. And when you talk to other people, it's good to talk to other people. It's good to not be isolated. It's good to share your story, what you're going through, because then when you begin to talk to other people open up and they say, I'm going through the same thing, or I went through the same thing, and you can encourage each other. The word says that we should cry with others and we should rejoice with others. So we should share what we're going through so we can either rejoice or we can cry with them. But we should definitely be praying for one another because we are all going through life. If we are true believers, we are on the narrow road, and the narrow road is not easy. But those who endure to the end shall be saved. So, what particular passage has been burning in my heart? The parable of the lost son, or it's called the prodigal son. In the Bible, it's the lost son. There's actually no prodigal, so that's a different translation that came out. But most people know it as the prodigal son. And most of you know the story. And let me read the passage that I'm only going to focus on. And you might think, oh, she's going to talk about the prodigal and how he left and then he came back. My son was lost. Now he's found. I'm not talking about the good stuff today. I'm only going to talk about one particular part. So I'm only going to read the beginning. 3, maybe 4, but I think it's 3 scriptures. So Luke 15, if you have not listened to all of Luke, let Luke play at night. The reading of Luke will give you the best sleep, and it will heal your body because Luke was a doctor. I don't know how to explain it, but I've done it. I did it for a year and even after a year. And this is how I learned a lot. My spirit was refreshed and fed while my physical body was asleep. So Luke 15:11. He also said, he is Yahusha. We call him Jesus here. His name is Yahusha. Said, a man had 2 sons. The younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the share of the estate I have coming to me. So he, the father, distributed the assets to them. Not many days later, the younger son gathered together all he had and traveled to a distant country, where he squandered his estate in foolish living. After he had spent everything, a severe famine struck that country, and he had nothing. And that's it. That's where I'm going to stop at. So let's go back to the beginning. Verse 11. Yahusha's telling a parable to the Pharisees. The Pharisees are the pastors, the preachers, the rabbis, whatever. And they are so religious that they cannot discern the times. They cannot discern that they are the problem, not the people. But the Pharisees think that the people are the problem, and they're so righteous and high and mighty, and they know the word, and but Yahusha's trying to put him in their place. So he's telling the story, and he says this man had 2 sons. So listen, the man had 2 sons. The younger son said to the father, "Give me my inheritance now. I'm not waiting for you to die. As a matter of fact, I consider you dead to me. Give me what is owed me. I want it now." The father had 2 sons. Only the younger son came to the father. But the father gave both of the sons their estate or their assets. Isn't that interesting? As a matter of fact, I'm reading this now, and I'm just seeing that, like, it was the younger son that demanded what he wanted, but he gave it to both of the sons. Probably, this is just me. I have not done a deep dive on this. This is completely surface, and there's a reason why it's surface, so I'll probably go back and do a deep dive later. The older son would probably say, well, why did you give him his assets and you didn't give me? If you go to verse 28, if you go to verse 25, I said I wasn't going to read the rest of it, but I have to for context, because I understand why he gave it to both of the sons. He knew both of the sons. We didn't know both of the sons. The father knew both of the sons. His older son was in the field. As he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. So he summoned one of the servants, questioning what these things meant. The servant said, "Your brother is here." He told him, "And your father has slaughtered the fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound." Then he became angry, the son, this is the older son, and didn't want to go in. So his father came out and pleaded with him, but he replied to his father, "Look, I have been slaving many years for you, and I have never disobeyed your orders. Yet you never gave me a goat so that I could celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came, who has devoured your assets with prostitutes, you slaughtered the fattened calf for him." The father says, "Son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours." Literally, this is Yahusha talking to us. And so the father says, "But we had to celebrate and rejoice because this brother of yours was dead and he's alive again. He was lost and he is found." So when we go back to verse 11, the father had 2 sons, an older son and a younger son. We already see what's going on with the older son. He has a lot of pride. The father obviously knew that, and that's why he gave his assets to both of the sons, even though the younger son was the only one that asked. So the father split his assets up. Here, younger son, you asked, you get it. Here, older son, you didn't ask, but here you go. So listen to that. That father loved that older son so much. Now, the older son represents the believers that have believed before, that didn't just believe because they fell on hard times and they had to go through stuff. Maybe they did go through stuff, but now they're not going through stuff. They're believers. So the older son benefited from what the younger son wanted. We benefit when these squandering unbelievers ask for certain things, and Yahuwah blesses us in the result. The word says that the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. That's us. So these wicked people are praying for wealth and houses and cars. They're praying for all of this stuff. And Yahuwah's going to give them that stuff because there's certain principles, and they might be following those certain principles. We're doing a surface lesson today, not a deep dive. And so they get blessed, but then we get blessed too. So, verse 13, not many days later, so in this younger son's head, he probably already had a plan. He probably already said, I'm going to get my daddy's stuff, and I'm going to get my bus ticket, or I'm going to get my friend to come pick me up, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to live life large. because it says, not many days later, the younger son gathered together all he had and traveled to a distant country. This son did not just decide this is what he was going to do, because he would not have asked for the assets, because he would not have had the resources to go travel to a distant country. And back then, distant countries were miles and miles away. They didn't have cars, maybe didn't have a horse, a donkey, whatever. He might have walked by foot. And so it says he traveled to this distant country, and it may have taken him months to get there. That's why this older son in verse 29, he says, look, I have been slaving many years for you. So obviously this son left for many years. He didn't leave just for a day. Couldn't be a day. They didn't have trains, planes, and automobiles back then. So they had to walk far. Sometimes it may have taken them a year. He went to a distant country. Who knows where he was at? He may have traveled from Africa to America, and it may have taken him forever to travel by foot. So he went to this distant country, and he squandered his estate in foolish living. The son said, the older son, in verse 30, he says, but when this son of yours came, who has devoured your assets, father, with prostitutes, you slaughtered the fattened calf. So obviously he went out, he had a lot of sex, he did a lot of drugs, he did a lot of drinking. So let's pretend here. He lives in, let's just say Africa. We'll go back to Africa. And he got him a plane ticket and decided to go to New Orleans because he saw all the videos of Mardi Gras and the debauchery, the drinking, the revelry. And he said, give me all my money and just give it to me. But he already had a plan. He knew it was January. No, it was February, the beginning of February. He knew Mardi Gras was coming up. So he knew he needed some resources to get a plane, to get to New Orleans, to get to Mardi Gras. He traveled to a distant land. He gets there and he sees all of the bead throwing. He sees all of the body parts exposed. He is drinking on Bourbon Street. He is sloppy drunk, falling all out. He is living life large. I didn't say good. I said large. He is living life large. He is having sex on Bourbon Street. He is doing whatever his flesh wants because it feels good and it's what he's always wanted to do. He is going out and getting everything pierced. He is experiencing every type of sin ever imagined that he only thought in his head, but now he's out there doing it. And he has, let's say his daddy gave him $100,000. He is in the best hotel, living life large for, let's say he's in New Orleans for a week. Mardi Gras is different days. The day of Mardi Gras is on Tuesday, Mardi Gras, Tuesday, Fat Tuesday. And so he's there Monday, Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Let's say he's there the whole week. He has the best hotel in New Orleans. He's at the Fairmount. He is eating at every restaurant on Bourbon Street, on Canal Street. He is just drinking and living. He is inviting the prostitutes back to his house. He's just throwing money. He is just living it up. He is experiencing everything that makes his flesh feel so good. And he's probably thinking, my daddy never let me do any of this. But look at me now, Daddy. I got my money. I am doing it up. I am doing everything I ever wanted to do. He has strange people in his hotel. He is doing everything. So you might be able to experience everything that you want. You may be able to go so far to let your body experience every lust, every ever imagined, but eventually it's going to come to an end. Some people don't survive these ends. Some people do. Some people don't. He did. He survived. So After he squandered his estate in foolish living. Squandered means he did that so much, it was over. And he looked, he said, oh, wait a minute, I don't have nothing. Wait. He got kicked out of his hotel. All the prostitutes left. The drug dealers left. He had nothing. Mardi Gras was over. He was on Bourbon Street walking around with nothing because he had no money. He had no family. He's far away from his hometown. Nothing. He hit rock. He hit the bottom of the barrel, which is a good place. Verse 14 says, after he had spent everything, a severe famine struck that country and he had nothing. So famines happen because of sin. And obviously, this country that he was living in was a sinful country. And so because of the sins of this nation, a famine happened and he had no money. He had no food. He had no water. He had nothing. And so 15 says, then he went to work for one of the citizens of that country. So here he is from Africa. Now he has to go work at a restaurant on Bourbon Street, making $2 an hour because he has nothing. He has nowhere to live. He has nothing to eat. He's hungry. He has hit rock bottom. He might even be detoxing from all of the drugs and the alcohol. He might be really, really, really sick. And his body is fiending. He has nothing to get anything that his body considers pleasurable, but what Yahuwah considers detestable. So he goes to work for one of the citizens of the country who sent him into his fields to feed pigs. So let's put this in context. We're still going to use the same countries. This person lived in Africa. He believes, his father believes the Torah. They don't eat pork. They follow all of the feasts and the festivals. They follow everything to the T. The son said, I don't want to follow your feast. I don't want to follow the Torah. I just want to go live my life. I want to go drink. I want to go party. I want to go get piercings. I just want to do everything that I want to do. And I don't care that I'm not 18 yet. I'm a week away from 17. Let me just go live my life. Give me my stuff and leave me, excuse my language, leave me the hell alone. So the father's like, okay, I'm just going to let you go. You have caused me so much heartache, so many problems. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Do what you want to do and experience life. You're about to be a grown-up. So, quite ironic, but not, that he works for one of the citizens in the country and he's in the fields feeding pigs. They don't eat pork. Pork is not in their diet. They don't even have pigs. They don't touch pigs. It's the most detestable animal. Revelation. He lived the most detestable week of his life, doing everything that his flesh thought was great, but Yahuwah said is detestable. Now he is working with the most detestable animal that Yahuwah considers detestable. Your life is detestable. Now you are among the most detestable thing ever. And I didn't read 16, but let me read 16. This is still the son. He longed to eat his fill from the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one would give him anything. He was so hungry. He had lived such a detestable life. Now he's among the most detestable animal. He is so desperate that he wants to eat the most detestable food now. So, put this in context. Pigs, yes, I eat pork. I pray over the pork, but I don't eat pork every day. I might eat bacon. That is it. A slice. Pig is the nastiest, grossest animal on the earth. Pigs eat pigs. Pigs eat poop. They call it slop. They eat the scraps. They eat the throw up. They eat whatever is rotten and spoiled. And so they eat all of this nastiness, and then it goes in their body, and then it's all in their skin. It's everywhere. And people eat the chitterlings, which is the intestines, the poop chute. People eat this stuff. This kid was so hungry that he would eat the most detestable animal that Yahuwah considered detestable, that he knew was detestable. But because he had just lived this most detestable life, he didn't care. He was desperate. He was going to eat this most detestable animal. So I'm not going to go any further. There's a reason why my heart is here. So many of us have a lost child. Might not be a son. It might be a son or a daughter. Might be sons or daughters. I don't know. Like I said, you think you're the one going through life and heartaches and fiery trials alone, but you're not. I'm here to tell you, you have to let them go. You have to let this child go. This child was lost before he was lost, and the father knew it. That's why he gave him the assets. This father didn't plead. He didn't beg. He didn't say no. He didn't say why. He didn't say where. He didn't say anything. It didn't say anything. It says the father distributed his assets to both of his children. He let that child go. It doesn't say many days later that when the child left, that the father begged and pleaded and cried. It doesn't say anything. This father let the child go. Obviously, this man was a praying man. So this man represents Yahuwah. This man, the father, represents our Abba Father. He knows what our lost children are going through. He knows what we went through. He knows what we're going through. And when he's done everything that a father can do, because obviously this father did everything. He had assets to give this child. He was going to leave an inheritance for his children. That's our Abba Father. He will let us go and go live life however we choose. I'm a product of this. But I didn't leave my family, though. I just went out and experienced life because of abuse and different things like that. But I still left for 6 years, the worst 6 years of my life. But Yahuwah has redeemed me, and he's redeemed the time. And so Abba Father lets us go. He knows the beginning from the end. He knows what our lost children are going through. He knows what they went through. He knows what they're going through now while they're not in our sight. He knows, and he knows their heart. He also knows if their heart is absolutely like, now I'm going to say this. I hated God for those 6 years because of abuse. I didn't understand. But I hated God, but I still sought God. Even in the middle of hating God. I know that sounds crazy. I was still seeking him. I still had a Bible. I was still going to church. I still visited my mother. I loved my mother. I never cursed her. I tried to respect her as much as possible. I was mad at her too, but I tried to respect her as much as possible. So I say, Yahuwah knows where we are in our hearts. Some of our children might not make it. I know that sounds horrible. I did a whole message 3 weeks ago that talks about everybody's not going to make it. They're not. And when I looked at that scripture and I sat back and I went, what? I can't remember where the scripture's at because I wasn't prepared for the scripture, but it says, let the unrighteous be unrighteous. I can't remember the other word. It was like, let the sinner remain a sinner. Let them go. Let the dead bury the dead. Let them go. But it says, let the righteous be righteous and let the one who seeks me keep seeking me, or something like that. It's not exactly like that. So when I looked at that, I went, he doesn't say pray. This father didn't pray. This father represents Yahuwah. He didn't pray. But, let me see. Verse 20. It looks like I'm really going through the whole lost son. Just kind of skipping around. Verse 20 says, so the father wanted the son. He was going to eat the nastiest, most detestable food. Let's go back to 18. He says, no, let's go back to 17. I'm sorry. When he came to his senses, he said, how many of my father's hired workers have more than enough food? And here I am dying of hunger. He finally came to his senses. I'll get up, go to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and in your sight. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired workers. So he got up and went to his father. Excuse me. There is so much in here. Like I said, it's surface. But there's more to this than just what I'm saying. And I'm using this for a lost, wayward child right now. But this is the part I was trying to get to. So he got up and went to his father. But while the son was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion. The father was praying. Abba Father is praying for us to come back when we go out and we live these sinful lives. This father saw his son way off. You know what that tells me? This physical father I'm going to talk about, he was waiting for him to come back. He knew he was going to come back. You know why? Because he planted seeds of righteousness in this child. The Bible says that train up a child the way he should go, and when he becomes old, it will not depart from him. He might have to get old. He might have to get real old before he comes back. But he'll come back. Let him go. Let Yahuwah do the work in that wayward child. Let them go. You might see everything that they're going through, and you might say, oh, they are just destroying their life. Let them. Let them. They are going to suffer the consequences. Now, this father does a feast. This is actually not now. There's more context to this story. I'm going to just say so you can understand. This is when the son comes back, he repents, he goes to the father, he makes it to heaven. That's not what it is, just so you can understand. So it's not now, but you can come back before it's too late. Let them go. That's my message. Let them go. That's the title of this message. Let them go. It is the hardest thing that you will ever do. You have to let them go. You have to wipe the dust off of your feet and say, this is not on me. I have done everything that I can humanly do. I have prayed, I have fasted, I have sought. There is nothing else that I can do. In Ephesians, it says, after you have done all, stand. Stand on the word. Stand on Yahusha, Jesus, who is the word. Stand. Don't fall down. Even if you get the worst news, stand. You just have to trust Yahuwah. God, you just have to trust him. And you just have to trust that that wayward child is in his hands. You just have to trust and pray for you. That's why this message was burning. It's such a hard message. I'm actually going through this right now. It's very emotional. It's very hard. But I'm standing on Yahuwah. And I had to let this particular child go. Regardless of the choices that I know are not the right choices, because I have gone through it. Maybe not as extreme and severe and so young, but I know. And you do suffer consequences. You do. I suffer consequences. But I stand. I stand. And I pray for you to stand. Don't give up. Take care of you. I have a really good friend, sister. She said, breathe. She said, do what you can do. Do what you can do. Breathe. Just breathe. My life is tied up in Romans 8:28. All things work together for good. Even if that wayward child comes back with 25 babies, HIV and AIDS, a drug addiction, a lesbian, or a homosexual, whatever, that's going to be their consequences, not yours. Let them go. Abba, Father, I just thank you for this word. Thank you that you love us so much, that you do let us go. That's how much you love us. We have self-will here, that you let us go. You let us go, and you tell us to let them go. We have to let them go. You say, let the dead bury the dead. Don't look back and regret. Your race is ahead of you, not behind you. I speak peace over every person that's, even if nobody comes on, I speak peace over myself. I speak peace over anybody that the lady at the hospital, the lady at the school, my friends. I speak peace over so many mothers right now that are dealing with the heartache of a wayward daughter. I speak peace that surpasses all understanding. Your word says, my grace is sufficient. Sure doesn't feel like it, but I trust your word. And I'm standing in the gap for every mother that is going through this. Every mother that just doesn't know what else to do. Let them go and stand on Yahuwah's word. Get in his word right now. I speak peace over minds, peace over hearts, peace over bodies right now in the name of Yahua Yahusha. From the top of the head to the soles of the feet. Give them rest. Yahusha says, I am the Sabbath, which is I am the rest. Rest in me. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. Rest in me. Thank you for your word. Let your word root, get deep, let it prosper, let it not return back to you void. And any word that I spoke out of context, let it fall to the ground and let it be turned away. Let it not prosper, let it not grow. I pray for families right now. I even pray for the siblings right now that are going through the effects of a wayward child. I speak healing over families, over the children, grandparents, even schools and teachers, even the police officers and the first responders that are seeing so many of this. I speak peace right now and healing over our children. Thank you for your word. I bless you, I praise you, and I thank you for this day right now in the name of Yahua Yahusha. God bless you guys. I love you. Message me. Anybody sees this, message me. Be blessed. Shalom, shalom. That means peace, peace, double peace. Have a good day.